Welcome everyone to Sysco Canada's live virtual kitchen. We're happy again and we're so excited to have Campbell's back and we're super excited to have Chef back. So I'm going to unmute everyone here. I'm going to bring up the screens. So that's what we do here. Welcome, Chef.
Hey Jay,
Welcome
well,
back to the show.
hey Jay, I just want to comment. Beautiful and beautiful music introduction.
Did you like that?
Makes me feel like I'm on a late night TV show here.
There you go. Well, maybe we'll give Jimmy a run for his money.
I would love that.
Well, this is awesome, Chef. So we're excited to have you back and all the amazing things you're going to do from Campbell's and all the great ideas. I just can't wait. So I'm going to turn it over to you. I'm going to ask a lot of questions along the way, like we normally do. And for our viewers, you know what? You can add comments as well to our show. Ask questions. We love them. But please let us know what you're thinking. Ask Chef a ton of questions along the show. We're super happy. So let's start off. So I'm going to put the camera right on you, Chef.
All right,
and you start there.
Hey Jay, thanks again. Again, this is an honor. This is our third week doing this.
Yeah, it is.
One of the things that I want to discuss again, taking it a step further with what we've been discussing in the prior weeks, and that is all about the recovery for operators, which, you know, each week, every week we learn something new or we see a new norm or something that's going to really change, or the landscape has changed. Because when we talk about the restaurant or food industry, you know, we tend to think about, you know, the fast food, the fine dining, the quick serve, the QSRs of the world, but there's so much more to that's out there, and I want to talk a little bit about one particular segment for dining, and that is like self-serve or buffets, all-you-can-eat buffets, because I've been hearing a lot about some of the struggles that they're having, and as well as struggles that some operators are having that had to take their self-serve salad bar or their self-serve soup bar and had to either do away with it, which if they do away with it, it's a tremendous revenue loss for them. So I want to talk a little bit about some of the struggles that they're having, but also some of the things that they can look to do in the future to help mitigate or offset some of that loss, instead of just a lot of places have closed their doors. So for those who are still being able to keep their doors open, I want to go over some potential solutions for them to help, again, mitigate some of the curveballs that they're being thrown because of with COVID-19 and all of the self-serve and social distancing and things like that. I want to talk about buffets and all-you-can-eat buffets. Right now, they're going under what we call a 3R structure, and that is they have to restructure, reinnovate, and they have to be very relevant. And how are they able to do that? They're going to have to change their focus where it was all you can eat, and now they're going to focus a lot more on the hospitality piece of it, but making sure that whatever food they do put out, that it's the best that they can put out. So they're going to really fine-tune the quality and the hospitality aspect of it. For a all-you-can-eat buffet, a lot of them right now are taking it behind where they're actually walking you to a table with the host. They're sitting you down. They're making sure that they're keeping social distancing rules, but they're also now what they're doing is they're giving you a menu, and then the food will actually come to you. They're still keeping with the concept of all you can eat, so you can continue to get as much as you want, but now it's going to be a lot more interactive with that server who will continuously refresh your food choices that you want. So where a traditional all-you-can-eat buffet sometimes would have, 100 menu items, they're not doing that anymore. They're taking it down to like maybe 50 menu items still, or even some even smaller. But then what they're doing is they're, again, fine-tuning those 50 or 40 dishes and making them the best they can. They're incorporating that hospitality piece because they know that, you know what, they're still coming here. If they are coming here, we need to give them the best service, the best product, but still also give it to them at a reasonable price. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that because there are a lot of these operators that are looking again to keep control of their food costs, keep control of their inventory. Your inventory and your food costs, they go hand in hand. Your inventory means what do you have on your shelves? And what do you have on your shelves equals dollars and cents. And the longer those ingredients are sitting on your shelf, the less likely you are to turn that product over that would turn into revenue for the operator. So them controlling and condensing their inventory will truly help their financial record. And doing that allows them to say, I'm going to take this chicken where I had maybe 5 recipes, I'm going to expand that out to 7 or 8 recipes. Well, can I use this shelf-stable sauce and incorporate that into many menu ideas? So they're looking, again, to control their inventory, reduce it, but still keep that creative edge. And I said it in the last 2 segments that we did, and that's where food manufacturers, food distributors come in, where we work more hand in hand now. So where we had a great working relationship before, now what you're going to see with the food distributors and the food manufacturers, we're really coming together to say, okay, how can we truly really partner? We partner that's going to help them become solution oriented for the operator. And that's what operators are looking for now. They're going to their distributors and their food manufacturers and saying, what can you do for us? What ideas do you have for us that could keep us relevant, keep us on point, but also keep our costs, our prime costs under control during COVID-19?
Yeah, Chef, I just want to jump in there. You're absolutely right. And I actually got an email this morning that said that. It was like, did everyone just wake up today and look for ideas? It was an email I got this morning, and they're absolutely right. And I think that's something that we need to, look at, and we need our customers to reach out. We're here to help, and there is so much help out there right now from our manufacturers like Campbell's and from like Sysco. We're here to help, and we love it, and that's what we want to do right now. And it's really about that. Watching the cost is really big, and I think that's the key, and we know that, and that's why I think if it's a challenge out there for operators and for people out there running restaurants, absolutely it's a challenge for you. We know that, and that's what we're doing here and trying to bring you ideas and trying to support you through this, because it has got to be the most hardest times right now for people, especially in buffets. And I'm glad you're talking about buffets today and grab and go products, and whole self-serve, that's what you called it, is perfect, because we kind of, I hate to say it, it's an area that hasn't really come up a lot and talked about, but there's a lot of buffet restaurants out there that have had to restructure their whole business model.
That's right. They're having to restructure, re-innovate, and reinvest in their operations. And some are going to come through this, some might not, but I think that we want to talk a little bit about the pains that they're having, and there are solutions. We don't have a solution for every single thing, but we have some solutions that we feel that would be really relevant and on point for them. And when we talk about self-serve, and with COVID right now, everyone wants touchless. They want to be able to know that the operations are really taking care of the sanitation that's in there, and making sure that they feel like they are getting a good product for their money, but that now the focus is, how are they handling my products? Yeah. And that is where the operator is really fine tuning their operation from sanitation to touchless. And you've seen it. I've gone out now and I constantly see people constantly spraying and wiping down, and they all have their mask on, they all have their gloves on. And these are the people behind the counters that I've been going to some QSRs and just seeing, just for my eyes to truly see exactly what's going on out there. And I will tell you, the operations that I've went to, I've been very impressed with the level of sanitation, level of hospitality, and also I've been very impressed with the quality of food. So to talk a little bit more about that with self-serve. So if you had a self-serve soup bar, you would have maybe 3, 4, 5 wells, and you would have the different soups in there, and then the customer would handle it themselves. A lot of people are now very apprehensive about going and touching that ladle that maybe someone else had. So we're looking at a solution here is that we're looking at what we would call a warming table. And what I have here is a warming table that goes up to 200 degrees. This one is 18 by 24. They do have smaller ones. It takes a regular 120, so you're not going to need any special electrical needs for this. And what I like about doing this, and I've done this in the past, not for COVID, but where we would be able to do very quick grab and go things. And I think that this is an idea for an operator that had multiple soup wells, but they want to still serve soup and or entrees or other meals and still be able to, offer to guests or customers something, but then do it in a very safe way.
Chef, can I just jump? That's a great idea for hotels, right?
Oh yeah, this would be perfect for a hotel that had the buffet that you would get in the morning, where you would go and you would go to the hotel pan or the chafing dish and get your scrambled eggs, your bacon, your sausage.
Yeah.
And now what I was, and I'm glad you segued into this really nicely, Jay, is that what an option for an operator, an idea that I was giving to operators for breakfast or continental breakfast, they could actually take they have these really great biodegradable earthenware cups. They come in 8, 12, 16, and also 24 and 32 ounce. What I like about these is they're insulated, so they do keep the product hot. And I love that the lid fits on really nice, but it also, and I don't know if you can see, it has a really small hole, so it actually allows you to vent, which will allow the product to breathe a little bit, because if it can't breathe, that's when they swell up and that's when the lid pops off. So I've been running tests at home on product for time and temperature. And I'm going to get into that in a little bit, but one of the ideas that I offered an operator is they could do a scrambled egg bowl where they take the scrambled eggs, they can add cheese, some vegetables, and even bacon into this. And they can put it right in this container. And I love that the lid really snaps on, and it's a tight fit. And this is something that the operator can offer, and the customer can or a guest can just quickly grab it. They can put the little label here or a label here that tells you what's in it. They can grab it, go, and they're on their way. So that's what we talk about, the reinventing part. They can still offer eggs, breakfast, meat, and still be able to do it. But now they're actually controlling their cost more, which would help offset this container.
Oh, yeah. Like, you think of the cost, because I've been to a lot of hotel buffets in the morning, the breakfast buffet in the morning, because they're usually free, right, within the room. They offer that free buffet in the morning, which are just outstanding. But you do see, because that free component gets in there and people they over put too much on the plate.
Correct.
When you see the amount that goes in the garbage, because I've stayed there and watched.
Yes,
it's actually quite phenomenal that goes in the garbage, because that is also your cost, because that's a free product, right? Like it hasn't been paid for. So what's going in that garbage is really coming out of your bottom line of what you're trying to recoup, especially in hotels.
Exactly.
Great for gas stations, great for QSRs that have that bottle of. I love that idea. I love a breakfast bowl idea. I think that's brilliant.
Yeah. So breakfast bowl, later on today, I'm actually going to be doing oatmeal in here as well. I'm going to try 2 different types of oatmeal and see how they come out in here. Which I love about these is because, again, I said that they're insulated. They have that it's earthware, so it's also biodegradable. So you're still being, respectful of the environment. I also have in here, this company is called Pactive. And I know that in Canada, there's a Solo company as well called Solo. And they have very similar packaging. This particular one I love as well. And what I like about this heat table and these containers, even though they're plastic, they will withhold 200 degrees of direct heat. And here is that I've had in here for a while, a lasagna. So this lasagna can sit on the hot table. Now, everything that I put in here, I'm going to sit this right here. Everything that I have put in the containers has to be brought up to proper heating instruction. This is not to say you take the cold product, you put it in the container, and you put it on the warming table. No, it's a warming table that's going to allow you to can keep the initial heat, internal heat, for a certain amount of time. And that time depends on what's in there. If it's a cream soup, a base, a broth-based soup, a soup that's hearty like a chili, or a really hearty vegetable soup. So I'm doing tests on all of those, and including cream soups as well. But the starting process would be heat the product up to proper heating instructions that's on the label or box. After that, it's portioned, put in the container, and immediately, soon as it's served, soon as it's up to temperature, it goes in the container with a lid on it, and then it can be put on the hot table. So that's
a good thing, Chef, because a lot of people, I have seen that before.
Yeah, you don't
think that hot table will bring it up to the safe temp. No,
I want to be I want to be very cautious that you still have to heat the soup up to proper temperature, which I'm going to talk about, which I'm going to show you right now, because I have a pot of soup right here for you. And as you can see, there's a great amount of steam coming off of this. Mm-hmm. So if I'm an operator, the first thing I would do.
What soup is that? That's really.
So pretty. This is actually this is our Mediterranean vegetable soup, which comes in a pouch, and there's 10 different vegetables in here. There's potatoes, there's lentils, there's chickpeas, there's zucchini, carrots.
No meat, no protein.
No meat. So again, you can still keep on some of the, trend points, and still have a plant or vegetable-based or vegan soup. I do have chicken noodle here. I have beef vegetable here. So still, we don't want to just forget about the trends that are out there, because there are the vegetarians and vegans, they're still eating. They still want to be able to go out and enjoy things. So one of the things that we've been talking about with operators is to ensure that you can still have that comfort food and incorporate it. And you can still bring it to the forefront, but still don't forget about the vegans and the plant-based dieters that are out there. And this is a great soup for it. And if you can see, this eats like a meal. So
I was just going to say, you're absolutely right, Chef. And I'm glad you brought that up, because our demographics for more restaurateurs is that Gen Z, millennials, that's 65%, if not more, of the population that you're targeting. And they want the trends still. I know we've been impacted and we've been hit hard, but I'm so glad you brought that up, because we think we have to shift a lot of those trends to fit that. That's not the case. No. It is really making sure that you stay on top of those. Obviously, provide the comfort, like you said. Staying focused on that target group that you're going after is that millennial and Gen Z. They like dining out and eating out, and grabbing food. And absolutely.
Yeah. And this is a great way to we can't forget, like we said, we can't forget about them. And I'm all about right now with COVID and our lives have changed dramatically. That I've found myself craving things that I haven't craved before in the past. And you know what? And I think that it's important that we can indulge in those things from time to time. But we're as an operator, with my operator mindset and as a food manufacturer, we cannot forget about everyone that's in our demographics. So great point, Jay. So one of the things I would tell, and this is exactly how I did everything today. I took the soup, I brought it up to proper temperature, and I have a thermometer, which I'm just going to ensure. And this is one of the things which is going to be vital. So I have this at 196. So then I would take the soup as it's hot. And this is what the operator would do in the back. I'm stirring it up to make sure I get good distribution. And that's another good thing about doing the soup this way, because at soup bars, how many times have you opened up the chicken noodle and all the chicken or all the noodles are gone? because someone has gotten to it before you.
You're just left with a bowl of broth.
So here, this allows you, again, this is about reinventing or restructuring what you were doing in the past. Again, so this is another benefit that each cup is going to be exactly the same.
Well, you know how much each cup costs now. Like, it's so much easier that way, right?
Yeah, you do know how much each cup costs. And I think right now that, if I believe that it can help mitigate or cancel out the cost of the cup by being able to reduce the amount of waste you have.
Yeah, I agree.
Because if you throw away 3 cups of soup at the end of the shift because it's at the bottom of the container or the vein, that's pure profit.
Yeah.
So,
but I just don't know how many people want to grab another person's ladle.
Right.
So like grab the ladle after it's been touched 12 times. Yeah.
So here's the soup, and there's actually equipment out there that actually makes labels very, very easy. It's a very simple program that you can actually, it looks like an iPad attached to a restaurant printer. And basically you pre-populate it with all of the names that you want. And the cook, the cashier, a server can just go to the machine. It's already pre-populated and say, I need to print out 10 chicken noodle stickers. And they just go in, hit the chicken noodle button. I need 10, and instantly 10 stickers come out, so that way you're able to label the product. Because now you have a hot product. You got it in a very good container. You're going to now put it on the heating element, but now you need to be able to tell the customer what's in there. So labeling is going to be very important as well. So
yeah, surprisingly, we have an Advantage partner. Here's my Advantage partner plug. We have an Advantage partner, Optimum Control, that does new labels, but it also prints out the nutritionals as well.
Yes, and exactly this would do the same thing as well. It gives you can put ingredients, allergens, you can put the nutritional piece on there. So there.
It's funny, Chef, and I'm sorry to interrupt there, but I love that you bring that up, because people think. Like a lot of people why would I do that? Like, why would I spend that extra times? It's really that I remember reading this and studying this, it's actually building the confidence up in the consumer, and that you're actually taking care of them. Mm-hmm. And they feel appreciated in a subconscious way that this restaurant is taking care of me, because look at the stuff that they're doing for me within this one product.
You said it. And I'll talk about that quickly as well with the Panera. They started the no list. Panera has slowly over time, really ingrained in us about the quality of their products, about the no preservatives, no artificial colors or flavors. And they've done a really good job of, ensuring customer confidence and their ability to put out a product. Yeah. You hit it right on the head. And I think that right now, I say this respectfully, at times we have our head in the clouds. Sometimes when we go out and we eat, where our questions that we ask has really shifted in the last 20, 25 years. And I think with COVID, it's going to shift even more, because we were already on clean label transparency in products and in recipes and on labels and ingredient statements. Now with this, customers are going to really want to see that up front. They want to know that, someone is really taking care of me on so many different levels.
Absolutely.
So I'm glad you brought that up. And I do want to
I know it sometimes sounds bizarre, but it is true. The more that we can take care of our people, take care of our customers and our guests, it will bring better business to you. And it's just the right thing to do as well.
Oh, it absolutely is. We all want to feel cared for when we walk into an establishment. I think that, customers can take subpar food sometimes, if the steak was overcooked, or maybe not, if the mac and cheese wasn't hot enough. They're more likely to forgive those things than to forgive things like maybe the sanitation, to forgive, they're less likely to forgive how they were interacted with from a hospitality standpoint. And I think that with COVID and everything that's out there, operators now, and we talked about the 3 R's, and that one is reinvent. And we're reinventing, we're just reinstalling that piece. We have to go back to that to ensure that consumer satisfaction is there. And that's where we did talk about, that's where I'm going to backtrack a little bit now. That's where a company like Campbell's and Sysco can really come together and come up with solutions for operators, because you're on the front lines. You're out there delivering to these customers each and every day. We want to know what those customers are saying. So being able to stay very close to you, because your ear is on the ground more than ours, it's vital. And then when we come together, it's all solution based to help the operator. And then when we help the operator, it helps the customer.
Absolutely. So what's next, Chef?
So here, I just want to go and show real quick. I have some mac and cheese in here, which, again, this has been in here for about an hour, and it looks beautiful. I also have a beef vegetable soup here, and then I have chicken noodle here, and it's steam coming right off of it, which is good to see. So you'll see that there's different. So this is a great way. I'm going to pull these 3 up front. So I have chicken noodle, and then I made this one here. So as you can see, this is a opportunity for operators to take their existing space, if they have well soup warmers, that if they can replace it. And again, these tables, they actually come, this is just one of 4 different sizes. They actually have smaller ones. And if the operator wants, they can actually have these in the back of the house, in the cups, already in a hot box and a hot holding cabinet. And then as they need, they can continue to replenish the warming table, which allows the customer to just quickly grab and go with the product. Yeah. So again, great solution.
Excellent. Awesome. So what's next, Chef?
That's it.
Awesome. Well, thanks again. When you look at all the ideas, just that grab and go in the buffet areas, I think it's simple for us to sometimes forget about those areas of our business, but it is something that, we can really adapt to and change to. So great ideas, very simple. Love it. It's always a pleasure, Chef.
Jay,
so you know what? Thanks again for all that you're doing here and all the ideas you're bringing our customers in our industry and really helping them out. So once again, Chef, thanks so much for your time today.
Jay, it's my pleasure, and thank you again.
No problem. So for everyone else, we're going to continue to bring you more shows like this. We've got a busy week this week with, I do believe we have 4 shows this week, which is outstanding. And then at the end of the week, we're going to announce some more shows that are coming up at the middle of this month. It's something different that we've never done before too. So very excited to tell everyone about that. But once again, Chef, thanks again for your time today. Always a pleasure. And for everyone else, have a great rest of your day and stay tuned. More to come from our virtual Sysco kitchen. Thanks so much.
Thank you.